I'm Shawna Martin.
And I'm Misty Perlman.
And this is
Book Till June. Good afternoon, and thank you all for joining us.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Today we have, of course, me, Misty Perlman, and
Shawna Martin.
Hey, Shawna.
Hey, hey.
And who else do we have with us today?
Nick Olson.
Hey, Nick.
Hi, guys.
And Nicole DeRose.
Hey, Nikki.
Hey.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
Today's episode is called It's Not Me, It's You.
Oh,
Have we all thought that before? It's not
Absolutely.
me, it's you,
Yeah.
right?
I think my mom said if I can't say anything nice, don't say it at all.
Yeah.
There you go.
But so you wouldn't say that? You think that's mean?
Nah.
Nah.
Not in this group, it's not.
I don't think so. It's never me. It's always you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to cover what things can impact the technician's job and the client's experience.
Awesome.
Some of these are going to be about the clients that show up late. We've all had them. And those clients that are on the phone during your appointment. Or how about if you're on the phone during your client's
Ouch.
experience? Showing up sick and saying it's allergies.
Ugh. Yeah.
We all have those too, right? Those clients are going to be coughing and acting like they're not sick.
Well, what if you're the...
What if you're the one that's
Yeah.
Oh, it's just my allergies.
just my allergies?
Never. I always canceled. We'll get into it though.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too. Offensive conversations or topics.
Ouch.
Constantly moving and wiggling and digging in your purse
Why not?
or in your pockets or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Moving target.
Complimentary snacks and drinks or just not showing up. No
That'll do
showing
it.
your
No,
appointment.
show your appointment.
I've gotten those messages before. Where are you? Not there today.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think I've had, I am guilty of it, but it's been an absolute emergency as to why it slipped my mind that I'm supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Well,
We're-
mine wasn't my fault. That's not what I was saying.
It's not me, it's you.
Yes, it's not me. It was you. You got the wrong day. Sorry.
Yeah. We're
I've
going to get
done
into
that.
it. We're going to get into it. All right. So first off, clients that show up late, what happens? What does that do for us? It puts our entire schedule at risk. And sometimes only 10 minutes. Them being 10 minutes late can make a difference.
It snowballs.
It does.
Yeah.
Because 10 minutes for this person and 10 minutes for the next person and 10 minutes. Yeah.
And then they get frustrated. Oof.
Puts the whole day behind.
Mm-hmm.
It's selfish on the client's part if it doesn't affect others and their time isn't valuable.
Yeah, well, mostly because, they're just showing up and they're just like, well, I'm here. Are they really thinking about the everything else behind it, like the next person that's behind them and how that's going to affect their appointment?
No, because they're only thinking about themselves.
Okay, so I went to the dentist and they have you show up 15 minutes early.
Yeah.
Is that something you could do? Or
Nah.
you
My
know,
place asked me for my nails if I can
Like-
show up 5 to 10 minutes early.
To get checked in?
or if you have like a 1 o'clock appointment, you tell them it's a 2 or 12:45 appointment.
I suppose you could.
If you start that from the beginning, maybe you
Right.
you inform and you put that into best practice with all of your guests.
I mean, 15 minutes is a lot, but it was just the idea.
What about those clients that show up with a coffee in their hand
Oh,
and they bring a coffee for you and they're like,
get out.
so sorry I'm late. Here's your coffee.
It just literally, it's one of my pet peeves. It literally drives me crazy.
Here's the thing. If they're already late, you ain't got time to drink the coffee anyway.
I don't want your coffee. I've been up since 5 a.m. and I had a whole pot before I even got here.
Excuse me, I have to go use the bathroom.
Yeah. You want to press me? Bring me a water with some lemon.
Ooh.
Right.
I'm
Oh.
dehydrated.
Absolutely. I don't have time to drink the coffee that you brought me, but thanks.
Yes.
And they spent $6 on it.
And all your nails are lifted. Sit down.
Gotta go.
God.
I don't know why.
They
Sit
just
down.
want flew off. Anyway,
Do you appreciate when you get a text or a call if someone's going to be late?
yeah, communicate, right? Like, I take it way better when someone's communicating with me.
Sure, it's like, ooh, I got a break.
Yeah. And
Instead
I'm not,
of, where are they?
yeah.
Where are they?
and I'm not unreasonable. I know I just sounded like insane, but that's just my inner voice, right? Like,
No, but they're paying for a service
Yeah.
and your time.
yeah, please show up on time. It's annoying. Like, you didn't communicate that you were stopping to get a coffee. You're 20 minutes late. You come rolling in here nonchalantly with a coffee. Oh, but you brought me one, so it's supposed to soften the blow. It doesn't help me. I'm frustrated, and now my whole day is going to be behind. And the next person that's coming in has a tight schedule. They don't have time to sit here. And now I have to rush through your appointment to try to make up the time. It's a lot. It's a lot of pressure, and now I feel like now I'm being put in the position to appear rude, when I'm not.
Well, it's just like Nick said, though, when he said, you go to the dentist or you go to the doctor and they're like, can you fill, especially a new patient, if they're in that case, please show up 15 minutes before your appointment to fill out paperwork and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, 15 minutes is a lot of time, but new client for sure. What about that consultation? Are you figuring out the consultation as part of your service time?
That's
but then they're late.
Yeah.
So new clients, maybe you do ask all new clients to come.
Yeah, it's a team effort between right. You're right. Like the technician should look at like, well, did I cover all the bases? Did I make sure that they understand the rules and the engagement and like how to deal with this?
It's all about the communication, just like you said.
Well, and what is considered the cutoff?
15 minutes for me. Anything beyond that, I do have to reschedule. Yeah. And then there was a time, so in my career in the beginning, like I was I was still a people pleaser, right? Because that's customer service and I love my clients. But there was a time that I would really just be a carpet. And I would just like, oh, yep, come on in, no problem. And then through my career and growth and becoming an adult, more of a super adult, I discovered boundaries, and that it's okay to professionally say no, and to professionally put that, set a line of expectation and draw the line, right? And then walk that line. So when the client is past 15 minutes, you go, sorry, you're too late. You're now literally bumping into the next appointment, and I can't do that. I can't disregard the next person that's behind you. So let's just reschedule.
Yeah.
Or the other option would be to eliminate some of the add-on services. So maybe they came in for spa pedicure.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I have time to do
we can
the
do
basics.
this, but we can't do that.
We can do the basics. No, you can't have nail art today.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get you in for the fill, but we can't do the art.
Right.
Yeah.
And as far as hair, same thing.
Do the cut, can't do the style.
Do that. We can do this. We can do that. Modify what they can get.
Good point.
That might be a way to still keep them and to still fill that spot.
Yeah.
But to modify what you're going to offer.
True.
Yeah, you get your touch up, but you ain't getting a haircut.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Pick and choose. Or we can reschedule and put you where we can get it all in.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of times people that are used to going to the salon, they understand the culture, and so they're already with it. They're all like, "Oh, I understand, it's fine," and there's not a lot of confrontation there. I do feel like sometimes the confrontation comes from people that aren't used to going to the salon regularly, and then they have like a different idea of how things should work, and so then it's more volatile. But either way, okay. Next, on your phone during your appointment. Right? Sure. You got a supercomputer attached to your hip that you should be able to use whenever you like, because you're paying over $1,000 for it, and it should be at your whim whenever you want to use it. But when you show up to an appointment and you're on your phone, it is a little challenging to keep up the time to do the service. Maybe you're moving around, or it's like if you're doing hair and it's on your ear. It's in the way. If you're doing nails and you're supposed to be sitting still, you're probably doing something with your phone, so your arms are constantly moving. Now the nail art's going to be wiggly, and you're expecting this perfect line, and so it's just like, you got to work with me. Some people think it's rude when people are on the phone. There's clients sometimes that'll look over and like, oh my God, she's so rude. She's on the phone while she's trying to do that service. One, mind your own business. Right.
Right.
But it's up to the technician to, again, put the boundary down and ask that person to stop using their phone if it's impeding their process. There's just people that don't like that confrontation. So they will do anything to not have to correct the behavior.
See, in my experience, mainly from the hair side versus the nail side, I don't necessarily always want to see
Oh,
What-
they
what
have
they're
on
looking
their
Oh,
at.
phone.
on their phone. Yeah, because you're behind them.
I'm behind them. And I've seen things that I don't want to see and wished I'd never seen because they're scrolling. Yeah.
What about if they're on their this is my favorite too. It's like they're on the speaker, the
Mm.
speakerphone call.
Oh,
And they're having a
great.
whole private conversation.
What are you doing? And nobody cares.
No
Do you-
shame.
Or are you trying to show out? Like, what are you doing? Please stop. Please.
Absolutely.
And then when they do that or they're on the phone, I will just stop working because as a nail tech, you need both their
Concentration.
hands.
Catch
and you
their
need their-
attention.
Well, you need their hands. You can't be doing all this and whatever. I'll stop working. I've had people actually, while I stop working because they're taking a phone call,
Like, what's wrong?
and I'm not rude. I'm just like super chill
Step
about
back.
it. Yeah, super
Mhm.
chill about it. I'm just waiting, and it takes them a couple seconds to clue in that that's what's happening, and then they'll kind of put their hand in your face and wiggle their hand, shake their
Ooh.
hand, like hello, and make a face like hello, and I look at them like, I see you.
Yeah.
And then I just tell them like, oh, go ahead, just take that phone call. It's fine. We'll wait. And then they'll go, oh, you know what? I got to get off the phone.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I've done
Yep.
that from the hair side too. Again,
Yeah.
step back. I've literally
Yeah,
stepped
just
back,
gonna wait.
put my hands to my side, and I've waited for them to finish. And they look up in the mirror like, "Why aren't you going to finish?"
No.
No, please.
And you say, "Do you need a moment? Do you
Yeah.
need to step out?"
Yeah, you need a second.
Get your phone off your ear so I can
Cut
cut your
around
hair.
your ear.
Otherwise, you're going to keep the hair on that side,
Yeah,
and we're just going to let you have.
totally.
Yeah.
And I'm on the other side of that. I'm that client.
On your phone, brat.
It's just hard. You know,
well, and
I have a lot
and I
going
get
on,
it.
but
Like
I
you
do
have to,
apologize.
well,
and
you're
I try to leave
probably-
it flat. So,
yeah, you're probably trying to multitask. You are a busy person,
but
so I can see that side of the coin.
I try to be mindful.
Yeah,
You know,
Sure.
but
But when you book an hour service, you book an hour service
Mhm.
on the flip side.
yeah,
But as a guest, I mean, as a client, let's put it that way. As a client, don't you deserve that 1 hour of
I try.
disconnect yourself and like enjoy your service?
Yeah.
I
And
try.
put the phone away.
But then,
I
in the salon and you're running it yourself, the phone's ringing. I mean, that's pretty
Mhm.
common that you step away from your haircut.
Oh, I've done that
and
too.
Take
Well,
a
and-
call, put on
sure.
your books, go back. So,
for me also, it's not that you can't be on your phone. Don't move around.
Mhm.
Because I had a lot of clients, a big group of people that they would be on the phone, but they knew what time it was and they would sit very still while they're using their phone,
Mhm.
right? So they're a trained client
Mm.
and then I don't care.
right.
The second that your activity starts to impede on my process, now I care.
Right.
Okay. So go ahead and use your phone, but please be mindful of what's going on.
Mhm.
And most of the people that would be on their phone would do that, right? But if you're wiggling around, no, thank you.
Anybody have any suggestions on how to politely ask your client
I
to
think
put away their
for
phone?
me, it's just to stop working,
Just to stop working.
to give them a second to clue in that I'm
Yeah.
not doing anything and I'm waiting for you.
The client's going to say, "Oh, is something wrong?" And you could just say, "It's really hard for me to do my
Right.
job when you're doing
Mhm.
whatever."
Just waiting for you to finish up.
I think
Yeah.
sometimes even maybe just a nice little note, like a little sign, maybe.
Sure,
Right
at your
there that's like,
station.
please, refrain from using your phone during your service.
Sure. But like Shawna was saying, some are trained professionals at one-handed phone usage.
Yeah. I don't know. It must be, maybe it's different for hair though, because you guys, if they've got it up here.
If they have it down their lap, go for it. Let me focus on what I'm
Sure.
doing. You can
Until
phone
they're
it up
like
all
thi-
you
until
want.
they're you
Sure.
guys can't see me.
Yeah.
I've got my head
Oh.
down until they're looking at the phone with their chin on their
Sure.
chest the whole entire time, and I'm like, I really need you to pick
But
your
when
head
they're
up.
talking on the phone, I
I'm
mean,
done
no
cutting
thank you. No
Yeah.
thank you.
And they're just laughing, right? Like, ha ha ha. They're moving their head and stuff, and you're just with the scissors. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope
These
it's
are-
straight.
these are sharp.
So maybe a sign.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe a
maybe.
sign. Yeah, maybe a little post-it note that says, "No, thank
Stop
you."
it.
And then when
Yeah.
you do give them the vocal reminder, you can say, look, there's the sign too.
And just
Yeah.
also be mindful that you're not on your phone as the nail tech as well.
Sure.
Taking
Yeah.
Sure.
personal phone calls,
Yeah,
unless you know that it's something that you have to deal with, and then just maybe politely just excuse yourself.
Sure.
yeah. Well, and that's a great point that you bring up because there was a time that there was not online booking when I was a technician. So everything was paper book. And we did have to spend a lot of time because we're self-employed booth runners. So we got our own phone and we're on the phone changing and scheduling appointments, rescheduling appointments, doing whatever,
While
and working and trying. And it got to be too much. So when the online booking was created, it was like a real blessing. And it did take me a while to accept that new thing because it was hard for me to be like, no, I need my paper book.
I'm in control.
Yeah, I need this. I don't trust the interweb. Like it was like a whole thing. So
do you guys get phone calls very often anymore? Is it
No.
mostly messaging? Because messaging, you can kind of wait till a more appropriate time,
Yeah.
even if it's just a couple minutes. But with the phone, it's like,
I'm telling you what, as soon as that online booking came out, there was no more phone anything. There was no messages. Everything's done through the booking site. People can manage their own stuff. And maybe when I got home, there would be some stuff on Messenger or Instagram in Messenger about, hey, I was referred to you. And then I would send them the booking link and tell them to manage their own appointment.
Again, I think it depends on how you work, right? If you're an independent contractor and you're handling all your own things, or whether or not you're an employee.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, most of you probably now know that I am in a barbershop. So our phone we do have online booking, but our phone is ringing. And so we do take turns.
I was just going to say, you like round robin.
Yeah, we round robin. Like, I got the phone next. You got
and your clients are okay with that.
And they know it's a busy shop, and we're each taking our turn walking to the phone. And of course, it's, thank you so much for your patience.
Yeah.
And excuse yourself. I'm going to go grab that phone and come back. And it's about how you present it.
Yeah.
To your guests.
But that's business. It's another thing. That's personal.
Absolutely.
Goofing off.
Let me just go talk
TikTok.
to my...
While you're working just on the phone with somebody else talking.
What are we doing Friday night?
That's one of my pet peeves at a gas station.
The audacity.
Have you been to a gas station where the clerk is like on the phone? Oh, that drives me crazy.
No, I don't even go inside the gas station. I just do everything at the pump.
What if you want a snack?
We don't need snacks.
Snacks at home.
Snacks in here.
Yeah, bring snacks from home. The old person in me brings my own snacks.
Going to the movies.
Unless I need an orange. All right, what's next?
What about showing up sick and then saying it's allergies or...
Boo.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I've had a ton of people in my career show up sick, and they're like, oh, it's allergies. And I'm just looking at them like, you look sick. And you sound sick. And then 2 days later, now I'm sick. So you're a liar on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
But it's allergies.
Yeah.
So,
oh, girl, I caught the same allergy. So weird.
That darn pollen.
It'll get you.
It's catchy.
So obviously, call out, reschedule.
Yeah.
You know you're going to be sick,
please.
even if it's a later text in the evening to the prior day. So that way you wake up, you're anticipating your first client, middle client, last client. Maybe you can get somebody else in. I'm assuming that would be the best game plan.
Please cancel.
Yeah.
Well, and if you're not abusing that, your clients are going to appreciate it. They don't want to be sick either.
Yeah, you got to protect the shop.
But there are some people that
they don't
sick
care.
once a week.
I think that's a whole nother episode.
It is. Sorry.
Or you've got the actual service provider that is sick that comes in.
Yeah, because there's nobody to
hold them
do your
accountable.
job. Well, there's no one to do your job for you. Like, you have to cancel the whole day.
Correct. And if you're not there, you're not making money.
Yeah, and if you're not there multiple days, where are you supposed to find? It's hard to be self-employed and have that happen.
Yeah.
So when people would show up, I literally, and I hope there's some clients that are listening because they know it's true. They would show up sick, and they would literally look at me and go, "I'm sick," and I would tilt my head and go, "Please leave." And they'd go, "Well, no, thank you. You didn't need to come today." "Well, I just felt really bad. I didn't want to." And I was like, "Feel bad now. Okay. This is worse. Please go home and take care of you." And they'd go, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm happy to reschedule. It's no problem. Happily reschedule you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for trying." And then I have to disinfect everything.
Yeah.
Because now you were breathing in here.
Yeah. No, it's for, yeah. No. Well,
So-
and you want to make sure that it's not it's not a pattern too.
Yeah. Well,
you
even
know?
even the state law says like if you're sick, you cannot work on you cannot work on people. It's a contagious.
Right. Communicable disease.
Yeah.
Not disease, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, because if they end up having something like
Supposed to call out.
a cut on their hand, and then you're sick, and it's just like
Yeah.
it can lead to a lot of other things.
Yeah.
And we're talking about it messing with your money. Okay, so maybe it messes with your money for the day or for the 1 hour appointment. But then if you're sick, if you get sick from that client, now it's really going to mess with your money
Well,
because now you're
yeah.
maybe out 3,
You're
4
You're
days.
2 weeks
week.
behind. No, girl,
Right.
you're 2 weeks behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you might have a client that has maybe like a compromised immune system.
Now
Yes.
you're moving
Something
it on.
that's next, you know, and
Yes.
and you can sanitize, but there's only so much that sometimes that you can do if you don't have like an air purifier and like
Yes.
this, that, and the other.
Yeah. You gotta get. Yeah. You gotta get it handled.
So obviously, you know, how often did you do someone's nails that were maybe sick that you got sick? Often
Every time somebody came in sick, I got sick.
you got sick.
Yeah.
Well, especially as a nail tech,
Yeah.
right? Because you're face to face.
Yeah, and it really wasn't until after I think I did nails for about 15 years that I think I finally caught every single strain of whatever that's available in Spokane. So therefore it no longer affected me, and then boom, COVID.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you do build up an immune system.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and I felt like I just like wearing a brick wall every day. Just
Yeah.
so happy, just like, hey, ready to take on the world. I've literally had all of your guys' germs.
yeah.
And then if you got a new client, you might have to start over again.
Little petri
Yeah.
dish.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it definitely it does add up. So just making sure calling in both sides.
Yeah, please call in. Please call out both sides. Call
Yes.
out. Because honestly, even if they did, like they showed up and then now you've got that available hour or however long the service was booked for, it's usually a blessing.
For
Things
sure.
happen for a reason.
Yeah, because there's a way. Now I can do some marketing. Now I can go clean the toilet. Now I can order food. Now I can go
To the supply house.
go to the supply house. I can move so and so up and get off early and go to the recital that, for my friend's kid.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do. So it all works out. And again, try not to be upset at people. Just take it happily and accept their cancellation when it comes down to that, because it's going to help you in the long run
For sure.
to not take them while they're sick with their allergies.
Let's talk about those offensive conversations or topics.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Mm.
How many of you have been at work and offensive conversations happening
all the,
all the
a lot.
time?
Yeah.
It's like, and sometimes it's just like a jaw drop, and you're just staring over there like,
Yeah.
Well, what gets me is some people, your level of offensiveness versus someone else, they may be perfectly comfortable about what they did last night
Yeah.
and discussing it openly with everyone.
Yeah.
well, and you become friends, with
Yeah.
your clients.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't even realize it's gotten so off topic,
Right. And
You
what,
guys are super
what they're willing
comfortable.
to talk to you about.
and the whole rest of the salon staring at you.
Yeah. Yeah, it can
Sometimes
be.
you can have those conversations, but it's not.
Sure.
It's the level. You can have it quietly.
Yeah, quietly.
You
Yeah. Be respectful of
Right.
everybody around you. Sure.
And if you're in your own suite and you're by yourself and it's just
Go
you and that
for it.
client and they want to discuss with you their,
Yeah.
horrible divorce,
Yeah.
I mean,
Ouch.
I always tend to go on the more professional side, though.
Yeah.
That's just what I'm more comfortable with.
me too. Do you know how much weather I talk about
Oh, a lot.
every day?
Hmm.
I talk about the weather
Girl,
How
get-
many times per day?
and March Madness right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, girl, get you an inlander.
I keep talking about, the Inlander. Shawna, what's the Inlander?
Oh, girl. The inlanders.
Tell our listeners what the
Uh,
Inlander is that might not know.
Yeah, if you don't know, I feel bad for you. Anyway.
Well, there could be people who don't live here in Spokane and don't know what the Inlander
Inlander's
is.
great, and it actually doesn't exist in every city. Anyway. So
Independent weekly.
yeah,
Is it weekly?
weekly magazine that's free to the city, and it always has it has local interview articles with local things that are happening, local people, but mostly it has events and a whole calendar and things to do and where they're at and how much they cost, and if there's a garden show or a cannabis show or there's an
Art.
RV
Yeah,
show
whatever.
or there's a book reading,
And it's very local centric.
yeah, super. It's just, well, I don't know if
Maybe
they've
it's Spokane
expanded to,
County.
I don't know if they've expanded to like Coeur d'Alene activities too, but It's just
Yeah, I think
I
they
think
do.
it's just distributed here.
Well, I was talking inland northwest
Oh,
kind of deal.
I think it's just Spokane. I know I went to Portland and was like, "Hey, where's your guys' like city magazine?" They're like, "What?" And I'm like, like city magazine. And they're like, "Nah." I'm like, "Well, how do you know what to do?" They're like, "You don't." I'm like, "Lovely." Anyway, so I would use an inlander all the time. They're free, and so while I'm getting my coffee or a banana or whatever at the corner store, grab an inlander and then use that.
Conversation.
Yeah, use that
topics.
as conversation topics. And then there's also like my favorite sections in the back. It's the jeer section,
Yes,
or
so
the
good.
or
I
the
saw you.
I saw you section. The I saw you section is hilarious to me. I like to read it in a
It's like the Craigslist ones.
Yes, they're so funny.
I like to read it in a particular
Saw you in
tone.
passing.
Yeah, just like a weirdo.
A black
Yeah.
jacket.
You psychopath. Tell me you're a psychopath without telling me you're a psychopath.
So how do we get it to stop? If the client is going down a road that you don't
Depends, right? Because
wanna
each
talk about.
conversation can be like, it's like different levels of, ooh, no, we don't say that. Or,
We should go grab a drink sometime and continue this conversation.
yeah.
So
Or do I got to kick you out?
Yeah,
Because now you're a racist.
personal experience just this last week, I had a gentleman ask me in the middle of his haircut, "So, are you a conservative or a liberal?"
Jesus. Goodbye. What did you say?
What did I say? I said, "Well, I'm not really comfortable answering that
Were
question."
you like, I'm a Misty Perlman?
So I said, "Wow, wasn't that great 70 degrees weather we had?"
I like how you're obviously changing the conversation.
Obviously. And he knew that I obviously changed.
And did he
So-
come along with you?
He came along
Oh,
with me
okay.
because I wasn't going to allow
Yeah.
it.
Read
So
the temperature.
what are the no topics?
Yeah.
Mm.
Politics,
Sex.
religion, and what else?
Sex.
And sex.
Yeah.
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 Surprisingly, sex is the most one you can waver from, I think.
I think
people
gender.
you-
I think you mean gender.
I think anything, whether or not it's like sexual interaction, sexual preference,
Any
what
of
you
that.
identify as,
Yeah.
like there's the whole.
Yeah. Let's keep it neutral. Yeah.
Keep it
And what I
neutral.
meant by my comment, I think that's the one that's the most slippery with clients that you know well.
Yeah. Well, especially me. I'm a dirty bird, so I run on the dirty side of things, and I had to really check myself during the Me Too movement. That's another
Mm.
topic. I
Mhm.
promise you.
Well, and then you
Yeah.
went through, the
I had to really reel it in.
political
Politics.
things have
Yeah.
risen, the last
Yeah.
4 years. Politics were, between that and COVID, they swayed a lot of people in one direction, and
Yeah.
they stopped a lot of people
And
from.
Religion's a big one too.
It's
Yes, it can be.
huge. It's huge. These are personal topics that that if you are hard set in your belief system, which you absolutely should be, you're
Mhm.
allowed to be. But you probably aren't going to, if somebody else doesn't believe the same as you, not butt heads in the middle of the salon or offend somebody. I used to work at a salon. There was a person that came in and continually talked about politics, and my client got up and left. And that person wasn't even with me. That other client wasn't even with
Mhm.
me, but it was like every time during their appointment. And she had said, like, is there anything you can do about that? And I'm like, not really. Like, they're not my client, but I can
Right.
talk to that technician later and
Right.
see if there's something that can be done. And so, of course, I did, but, nothing.
Right.
But okay.
And that's why I think as professionals, if we just try to stay away from those topics and
Yeah.
steer our guests away from those topics.
Who wore it best?
100%.
Yeah,
Don't.
just set the tone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
set the tone.
Seen any great movies lately?
Absolutely.
Read any great books lately?
Yeah.
You're
Are you
good
going
at those
on
transitions.
vacation?
Yeah.
You're a pro.
Absolutely.
I just think neutrality is important. You should just keep it super neutral. That helps you to remain super professional.
Yep.
You should not talk too much about your own personal stuff, like problems. Like people love to hear like
Mm-mm.
your personal great
Mm-mm.
stuff you're doing, but even that should be limited.
Mhm.
And you should not talk about your problems. Don't talk about politics. Don't talk about religion, and don't talk about sensitive subjects that you think are going to trigger people and make them uncomfortable during their appointment. Just be mindful. Like everybody has to be mindful of the person next to you, regardless. I know everybody's go-to is like, well, we live in America. In America, we get to do what we
And
want.
we can talk about anything
Yeah,
we want.
We can do whatever we want in America.
But you
okay,
can't.
good for you.
Right.
I too live in America, but I'm still going to be aware of the person
Respectful.
and respectful of the
That's all
person
it
next to
is.
me and their time. And if we all do that, as a group, everybody can have a great appointment.
Exactly.
So
There's
I've got-
also go feel free to join a rally somewhere later
yeah, support your cause
with your cause
on your own time.
And
with
if you-
like-minded people.
If you don't know how to address something and you're renting a station in the salon, let the owner know.
Yeah.
Because if you've maybe had the conversation with your co-worker and they're not understanding it,
Good point, Nikki.
then just go to who has to hold them accountable, who they pay their rent to, because it could, if it's probably not just you that's having an issue with it. It's
True.
probably other people that just aren't saying anything, because you don't want to lose a client and they're just not going to come back because somebody just can't keep their
Right.
trap shut.
Well, and it wears
Absolutely.
on you as a coworker too. It's like, oh my gosh.
Again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
It's
hard to
Tuesday again?
focus. It's hard to focus. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Tuesday again.
It's Tuesday again. Not already.
Besides those offensive conversations, another pet peeve that I might have sometimes is the constantly moving, or the client that can't sit still,
Wiggling about.
or they're
It's like
reaching down in their purse, or they're reaching for their wallet or whatever. How does this affect any of your ability to do that service?
Well,
Talk about a nail tech.
Yeah, for nails, it is like, listen, and I know I'm speaking to my people, because when you have prepped the nail and it is prepped and ready to go for product, and now this person is digging in their dirty purse, digging in their pocket, digging in a bag of chips, running their fingers through their oily hair, wiping the grease off their face from their makeup application. Like, really? And each person is different. So I'll either send you to wash 1,000 times until you get the point, or I'll put dehydrator on you constantly to keep re-prepping the nail, right? I don't know if that's considered nice or not. I think when I'm trying to do the job and I have to re-prep your nail 15 times because you don't care and you're not paying attention. And it's not because they don't know. It's not because they just like, well, did you tell them that they shouldn't be touching it? Yes, I did. I asked them. I explained I prepped the nail and why, and it needs to be dry and clean for this application, and to please not dig around in things.
Absolutely.
And they do it anyway.
From the hair side of things, I have a certain, let's talk about just cutting. I have a certain technique and a certain steps that I follow for a haircut, especially in men's cutting. And I'll have men halfway through the haircut ask me, well, aren't you going to blend that?
I'm not done.
Nope, I'm going to
not
leave it
done.
like that.
Did I take off your cape and escort you out yet? No, we did not.
Well, I see you brought a book. I want you to put it on that shelf.
And they're pointing and they're showing me what still needs to be, we haven't even got to the approval yet. I'm still in the middle of the service and they're pointing out what you still need to finish.
We'll discuss that when I'm finished.
Yeah, let's wait till I'm finished with this service.
Yeah, that's rough. Guys
They're-
are the worst too.
Guys,
They
just a little bit.
Well, they'll do it with nails. Don't get too
Yeah.
they really will. Like, we're
Are
not.
you gonna clean that up
Yo.
on my cuticle?
This one go like this.
Sure.
Are you crazy right now? I just got started. This is sculpting. We haven't even shaped or filed anything.
Right.
Relax.
Right.
and I wasn't coming at guys. I was, the hair, and it's all about like a quarter of an inch
Yeah.
or less. It's like, oof.
Your hair gonna grow. By the way, also any mistake that happens, I just feel like the hairs are gonna grow out in 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
So it'll be
It
okay.
won't grow back.
It will be okay. And if it's nail problem, we soak it off. You know
And
what I
then
mean?
when we talk about does it affect the result? Of course. The wiggling and the moving and they're reaching for their phone in the middle of my clipper work.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, we just went a little higher than we anticipated. So guess what?
When I cut
We're
hair,
gonna blend that in.
I only cut hair for I only cut hair for a short amount of time. But when I did like doing men's cuts because of there was something very satisfying to me about the blend.
Mhm.
Anyway, but when I first got started, I was very fresh. And so anyway, this guy was constantly like moving and stuff. And I'm literally trying to clipper over comb and blend it. And and I had it like slanted. So I had the comb in at the base of the head and then I had it slanted out perfectly so I could, just run the
Taper it
clipper
up.
and get it so sweet spot. No, this fool moved. It moved the comb and went and then it made this
Big old line.
It made a line. It made a gouge.
Yeah.
His
And
scalp was showing.
And I was like, Oh, and I tried very hard to not make it show on my face, but he looked at me and he was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Well, you moved and now you have a hole."
It reminds me of doing kids cuts.
Yeah.
You kind of just have to
Yeah.
ride the waves. Just go with it.
Yeah, no, he got
Or-
super mad at me, and then he
Hold on.
he got so mad at me, and I did look at him and tell him, I said, "So your hair's going to grow out in 2 weeks. You'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Get some real problems." And then he complained about me at the front desk.
Well, we can all agree that when they're moving, digging around in purses, it's definitely affecting the end result
Yeah.
of cuts, nails, skin, all
Yeah.
of it. All of it.
Absolutely. Okay, so next is complimentary. Is that where we're at? Complimentary snacks
Yeah.
and drinks, right? So not every salon, a lot of salons though, they'll offer, like, they've got a little drink bar, snack bar. Some of them actually serve the food with the service, serve a drink with the service. What do you guys think? Should we offer them? Should there be a limit? Should we offer drinks to people? Offer snacks to people?
What services are you offering?
I don't know. In my
Do you
career,
want to offer food when you're doing nails?
No, I'm telling you, I never offered people food or drinks. I'm
No.
like, you need a glass of water? I got you.
Yeah.
You need anything else? I don't got you. And then I did work at a salon, and I've again worked at lots of places, but one salon I worked at, it was included in the rent that we had to pay. We had to pay a portion, like it was $25. So we pay $25 to contribute to the salon snack bar,
Sure.
basically, right? Which is fine. They had a lot of clients. They had a lot of stations and clients that they service, so there was a lot of drinks and snacks. But they were like, "Well, you don't use this ever." And I'm like, "Well, no, I don't need my clients eating and drinking while I'm doing this and mess up the nails,
It reminds me of
mess up the prep."
one of our episodes. We were talking about, I forgot.
That's okay. That happened to me last week. I was in the mid-sentence of like, "Where the hell was I at?"
Yeah.
Oh, ding, here I was.
And I'm thinking I've got enough to clean and sanitize and follow those safety guidelines that I don't need to be washing cups and cleaning up cookie crumbs. And that's just something that I would prefer not to add to any of my services.
Yeah.
I understand there's a lot of nail salons out there, probably barbershops that are offering, beer with your haircut or whatever.
Well, and what I was thinking, I remembered about the price. We were talking about spa pedicures and how much you would charge, and it's like if you want to go for that higher ticket,
Maybe a mimosa.
maybe that's where this comes into play.
Maybe a
right?
cider.
And do you need a license?
Yeah, absolutely.
For that?
You
You
need
know
a
what I mean?
license. Yeah.
Like,
There's
or-
lots of
I
rules
think,
with that.
Yeah, need a license to sell it.
Well, I think you need a license to even serve it, and then also you can't.
'Cause there was a gray area
I
for
think
a
that you
little
can't
while.
be within certain feet of like schools and stuff too.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's like 500 feet.
Yeah.
And who's
So tread lightly.
and the cost
Yeah.
of it, right? So like you said, Shawna, $25 or whatever. If you're independent, you're by yourself, are you charging enough to make back, a mimosa or a beer or
At
what?
least the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't for me, I would think the snacks and the drinks besides water aren't really necessary, but I know there's probably listeners out there that are like, "Oh my gosh, we totally do really well with our drinks."
It just with sanitation and everything.
Yeah, and then there was a large amount of people, because I did a little research online. There was a large amount of people that for this topic they some of them were like, "Yeah, absolutely, I do the snacks and the drinks," and then another person was really made me sad. Actually, they said that they spent all this money on snacks and drinks for one person to come in and take it all.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
And then there wasn't any for the other people. And then I guess jokingly was like, "Well, I'm hungry."
Right.
What? Eat later. This appointment is an hour.
Right.
But, so I guess, what would be the solution for that?
If your salon is equipped to have like different sections, so maybe if it's not just like a station, but if you were in a place that had like a coffee bar, and everything was spread out and maybe people were running it and not a one-man show,
Sure.
I think that would be important.
When I worked at a spa, it was really nice because they had like a private waiting room for the guests after they've checked in. And
Yeah.
you can check in and relax. You have the ability to take a shower or sit in the steam. You can have drinks and food from the restaurant upstairs delivered. But that's where all of that takes place, is in that
Yeah.
room, and it's not like at your
Service
station. Yeah.
And
Right.
that would make more sense.
Yeah. All right. Anything else on snacks? Dr. Snacks?
You know, I was thinking one more thing was if the possibility of somebody knocking something over.
Oh,
So you've got
making a mess.
You've got a
breaking
mess,
glass
or breaking glass. So if someone's even if it's just water,
rubbing chocolate all over your
and now
furniture.
we're smearing, something across a station that you've got to clean up, or there's a spill, and now you've got to stop in the middle of your service just to get something up off the floor so someone doesn't fall.
Yeah, because there's not housekeeping.
Mm.
Housekeeping not coming through.
No.
How many coffees have each of us seen hit the floor?
A lot.
Yeah,
Including
I knocked
my
over
own.
myself.
Yeah.
absolutely knocked it over. So I just think it sounds like all of us here are a little bit in the agreement of let's just not have
No
snacks
food
and
and-
drinks.
Exactly.
Bring your own.
And still like
At
Be
appropriate
careful.
times,
Yeah.
you may indulge, but not.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So no show your appointment. I think a lot of, if not everybody, has dealt with a no show appointment. What does no show mean? You booked an appointment and you just ghosted the person.
Don't call.
Totally
don't-
forgot.
No communication.
Yeah, none. How often does this happen? Do you have a policy?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
After one,
I
or
had a
two
no show
times,
policy. Yeah.
You get charged for the service.
I was surprised though how many places I worked and they didn't have one.
I actually no-showed my groomer a couple weeks ago, like just blatantly, not blatantly, but just didn't
Spaced
even.
it.
Yep, didn't even think about it.
Yeah, what'd
Went
you
in
do?
the next day, paid her for the service,
Yeah.
and rebooked.
Oh,
But I grew up in the service industry.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know
So
this. Yeah.
yes, did that to my lash
Yeah.
gal completely on accident. It was like
Yeah.
the first 2 times in my life. So when I went, she was fine. She's like, "You're totally fine," but no, I
You want to
paid
make
her.
it right.
I paid her tip, and then whatever the service was the
Yeah.
next time I went in. You just have to do it right because
That's awesome.
you're paying for a service and you're paying for someone's time. They're not an hourly person.
Mhm. You're a solid client, Nikki.
I try.
You go, girl.
I try.
Yeah, I had a policy. My policy was pretty basic and very easy to follow. No show, you're going to owe the amount of the service that you booked before you can get another service.
Mhm.
So what is the service fee? I don't know. What did you book? Did you book a $20 service? Did you book a $100 service?
Right.
Pay that, and then you can come back.
Yep.
Right?
Do you have like a onesie?
Yeah, I would do like this is your warning, even though it's like clearly posted and I tell you about it at your appointment.
Yeah.
But I would give everybody a warning. Don't do it again. Next time we're gonna have to charge you.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's not personal, it's business.
Absolutely.
Right?
It kind of goes back to the deposit situation too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of places have that.
Yeah, you have a deposit and then no show. Whoop.
Well, eat
Well,
your
thank you.
deposit. Yeah.
Because then your deposit just goes. That's how my current hair gal is. I think she has like a credit card on
Mhm.
file. And then it just charges if you don't show up. It's like a $20 or $50 fee.
Right.
So
Oh, yeah, no showing's not good. So if you haven't developed a no-show policy, really look into that and getting that implemented into your stuff. A lot of online booking services, they already have that built in so that you can just program that into your personal booking site.
yeah, my mom has a price sheet on her mirror.
Yeah.
And on the bottom of it, it has
And it
a
says
little.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we should add that to our
A no-show policy?
a no-show policy to our website. And
Okay.
maybe give an example of something out there so that someone who may be
Can
looking
download
just
the
to try to
template.
develop that, we could just upload, and they can download a
Yeah.
template of a no-show policy. I think that's a good idea.
Okay, yeah,
Get
we'll
a
do
few
that.
different examples.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Cool.
Okay.
Bad advice.
Oh, there's so much bad advice.
Cuss
Yeah.
out your client, Shawna. Just cuss,
Cuss
him
them out.
Please
Yeah.
don't. Please don't.
Bad advice. Just avoid conflict altogether. Just ignore it. It'll go away.
It doesn't go away.
Oh,
Be-
how nice.
Be passive aggressive.
That
Be
works well.
aggressive. Be-
I will have to admit, I can be passive aggressive.
Oh no, Misty,
Probably a
no.
little fault of mine.
Oh girl.
Hey, I'm admitting it.
It's
That's
one of
the
those
first
after you
step.
say it, we get this warm wave.
Yeah. I'm like, ooh, I just said that. Yeah.
Then you mock the situation to your client.
Is that what you do? Mock the situation. No, I don't know if I do that.
I think I don't know what I do. I can.
I feel like Shawna's done that too.
I think Shawna's
I
probably
think I've
pretty
heard
good
that
about
from her
mocking
Once
the
too.
or
situation.
twice, but you've had to fire them.
Yeah.
But you've needed to express why during that situation.
Now
So
you
it
get
wasn't
snarky
like
me.
just
Oh,
mocking. It was
snarky.
like,
There you go.
here's exactly why I cannot continue your services.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can do your own nail art because apparently you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Sometimes I really act a fool, right? It just is like sometimes it would depend on.
You say it so pleasantly though that it like surprises you when you
Yeah,
think about it.
it would depend on the who are you getting today? Like what kind of day served me? That's the kind of day I'm serving you.
Shawna, Miss Shawna.
Yeah. Whoop.
Keeping it real.
Yeah. And there were times like people would do stuff and I go, oh really? Oh, is that right?
That's what I mean right there.
Mm.
Mocking the situation. You're good at that.
Yeah. Oh, but just so like, oh, I'm so sorry. Goodbye.
What about cussing out your client?
Yeah, don't cuss your client out. There was a time I think, again, when I was a young technician, we just were out in these streets doing the most, just
Don't know.
wilding out. We were not cultured back then. But whatever, it's all a learning curve. And but I didn't always cuss people out, but there was definitely people that they cussed at me first.
Right. Mm.
So I'm gonna cuss at you.
I try to take the high road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I
probably
get
I
not.
imagine-
nasty. I get calm.
I don't wanna
match
cuss
energy
back.
with energy. But now, as a seasoned technician that's professional and knows how to control herself,
You just sit quiet, let them show more face.
yeah. And then I'm sorry that this is happening. Thanks so much for coming. Right.
Yeah.
And then try to get out of it. But if you can avoid cussing your client out, do that because you don't want to look bad. All of it's conducive to how you look at the end. And if you reflect it all on how your behavior affects you and everybody else in the salon, it's, you feel bad about it later. Because especially if you're in a salon and you're doing that, now your colleagues are looking at you like, really?
And you never know who's got a cell phone
Yeah.
out.
Well,
Yeah.
that and like you're
Yeah,
representing
and there was no
your
cell phones.
They
There
might
was
be recording you.
Mm.
There was no cell phones back then when I was doing it. But
Mm-mm.
So
and
it never happened.
no, yeah, never. It's like it never happened. But for the most part, I would just try to be very professional and quiet.
Try to show dominance by being snarky and then snatching her up.
Yeah, that happened one time. I'd be honest. We were in the salon. That happened at the nail shop. But sometimes these people would play games. Like we were very young technicians. And so, we were still, going out and I don't know how to say it, but we were young.
Causing trouble on the town.
Yeah. And then there would be people that would book appointments and come in. And when they would come in, they didn't come in to get their nails done. They came in to
Drama.
for drama and to check up on us.
Yeah.
And then to cause problems. Well, I just feel like if you came here to cause problems, then I'm here to give it back to you.
Malicious.
Also, we own
mischief.
this building. You don't. So it's going to go how we want it to go.
Yeah.
But I know now that that's not how you handle stuff. There's a better way.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't snatch your client up. That's frowned upon. Don't explode and make a scene. Don't shame the client into submission, right? Like I've worked with people and the client's been late or the client was doing whatever. And instead of just, I don't know how to say it, but instead of making it better, they just were like
Beating them down.
belittling the client in front of everybody. Like, well, you're late. You did this. You're late again. Da-da-da. You don't care. You're disrespectful, which I think falls into these other ones that are up here.
Yeah.
But this is the advice that people would tell you what to do. Like even online, like when they like, I had this problem. What would you guys do? And these people would literally say these things as their advice. Oh, cuss them out. Oh, snatch her up. Oh, do this. Like, whoa. No.
Yeah.
Don't do none of that.
No.
But on the other hand, we can't keep allowing the bad behavior either.
No.
So if you don't address it with your guests,
Yeah.
you get what you tolerate.
You set the
You know,
expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And precedents.
You're
yeah.
letting them talk on their phone. You're letting them eat their potato chips while they're trying to get their nails done.
Yeah.
You're letting them do all of that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You get what you tolerate.
So some of the solutions would be to communicate in a professional manner, be active listening with intent and concern to your client, post the policies and explain them to the client the first time that they're in, make them visible, make them around the salon. I always did like a little orientation with my clients when they would first come in and just like, okay, so this is the rundown, right?
Great idea.
Yeah. At the end of the service, like we're wrapping everything up. It's like, okay, so let's go over the details. And I would tell them like, okay, so we don't take checks, right? Cash or debit. If you're going to miss your appointment, please call 24 hours in advance. I have a no-show policy right here. If you no-show your appointment, you're held accountable for the entire appointment that you booked. So whether it's $40, $100, $140, you have to pay that before you can come back in. Don't be disrespectful when you come to the salon. Make sure that you're not talking about things that are inappropriate, like religious things and politics, because that's uncomfortable. And then we should get along.
Sounds like orientation.
It is orientation. Oh, and I would also say, and please don't glue your nail down. And they'd go, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
all the time.
For real.
All the time. But I was going on vacation. It was just lifting just a little.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going to practice your go-to responses for repeat incidents that happen, and then you want to refer back to your policy, is what I was trying to say. For example, when there's a consistent, like, okay, when somebody no-shows, what's the spiel that you're going to say? When somebody's acting, wiggling around and digging in their purse, what are you going to say? And then just keep it at a blanket response for all the people. That way it's neutral. It's not personal.
It rolls off the tongue easier.
And then you practice it so you don't sound like you're seething or upset. You're just communicating. Always remain professional regardless of the situation, and complain over drinks after work like a normal person.
I'd still withhold personal information or names.
For what? Which part?
After work. After work, when you're complaining like a normal person.
Oh, yeah.
You still want to be careful.
Absolutely.
Be mindful.
Yeah.
Be respectful.
You never know who knows who.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah. That's all we have for today. So please visit us on the web at booktilljune.com, where you can find helpful links to information that was discussed on today's episode.
And please send us a message to inquire about being a guest.
Be our guest. Be our guest.
This is Misty Perlman.
I'm Shawna Martin.
Nicole D. Rose.
Nick Olson.
And this has been
Book Till June.